And welcome back to the Boneyard. My name is Daddy Bones. Episode 8. That's right, 8 episodes. It's pretty cool, right? 8 episodes. I was so wow. Just wow. There's only one thing left I want to do before we move on to the MCA Selector and open up 119 for the first time. So let's go do that thing. All right, so we had our map started, and this is our little area right here. We have our house, and we have our inverted waterfall, and look what's missing. Yeah, I think it's time to update this map. I think I'll need to update this map as well. Don't think I need to update that map, but we definitely need to update this map because we need to add it in our library. Let's just, right. And look, there it is. There's the library. Oh, there's a little black square missing. Maybe I should check that out. And right back it goes. Lovely. I actually don't think I need to update this, but you know what? Let's do it just for the sake of doing it. So this is about all we need to do with this map. We've got the back end here. We had a little bit of exploration going on over here, but nothing really built. So we should be good to go. Let's put this back. And let's get started. Okay, so let's just pop that back right there. And all right, this is what our area looks like. It's really coming along. 8 episodes in. But now it's time for MCA Selector. Let's trim back some chunks. And let's move on. 1.19, I'm excited to discover the Warden, the Deep Dark, red mangrove trees, frogs. So much. So, all right, let's move on to MCA Selector. Follow me. Okay, now that you're completely out of your game, here's something you really need to do. Step number 1 is move into this menu here for your world selection, your single player selection world. And let's go to the Boneyard. You don't want to click the play button. You want to click here, like it's highlighted. You want to come down here to edit, like you're going to edit it. And right here, make your backup. It's very important. Making that backup is very important. I have the pinwheel, and so you know that I'm playing on a Mac. And that's another thing we're going to talk about here shortly. My world's pretty small, 374 megabytes. I haven't explored a lot because I was waiting for the 119. I didn't want to get too out of control with where I was exploring and going to. And I also wanted to wait until 119 to do the dragon. All right, so you've made your backup, and now we want to open up our backups folder. And there it is, right there. To expand this backup, I actually have an external hard drive with some saves. So I've actually saved this world here as well. There it is. And you can even take your backup and drag it into another spot. This is all like precautionary things. Just making sure your world is safe before you start messing with the chunks and deleting things. All right, so next thing we need to do is open up our MCA Selector. I'm gonna kind of stipulate here now, this was not exactly easy to install on a Mac. It took a little while. For being somebody who doesn't do programming and can navigate its way around a computer, I did get it installed. And I can create a separate video about how to install MCA Selector on a Mac if you guys need help. If you do, leave a comment in the comments below that you might want to see a video about how to install this on a Mac specifically. But it was a little complicated. It just took a little while, longer than it probably should have for somebody who's only got like a modest amount of knowledge when it comes to computers. What we do is pretty simple. File, open world, and it opens to our Minecraft saves folder where our world is. That's all we need to do is open that. Immediately it opens up our Boneyard world here and our dim-1. Dim-1 is the nether and dim-1 is the end, which we haven't visited yet, so I don't have that selection here. But dim-1, we're actually going to go ahead and open this up first. because I actually am just going to reset the nether entirely. I really haven't done anything in the nether at all, except grab blocks, which I'm okay with just resetting everything for this. So it's pretty simple. You just left click, either one at a time, right click to deselect. The other fun thing is you can drag this way and then down, as you can see, it selects all that. So I don't want to look into what we explored. There are things we haven't seen. I haven't found a bastion. I haven't found a fortress. So I want to leave that to us. You know, I want to do that kind of later. And what we do is selection, delete selected chunks, and then OK. And it's gone. Our nether is reset. So let's go back to File, Open World, Boneyard. So this should start looking familiar. The scroll wheel will zoom out and in. Our sad W keys can navigate us left and right. I kind of like just going all the way out. And you can see how far out I've explored. And I actually went this way to explore just for MCA Selector specifically, just so I have things to delete. And when I did explore this way, I did find some interesting things. And I did find these, but I haven't done anything with them, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ocean monuments. That's in that close of proximity, it's pretty insane. We will be doing something with one of these, but I haven't done anything with them yet. But yes, I went out this way just for MCA Selector. And I'm just going to simply do this for now. I want to get back over here. I also explored this way again for MCA Selector. I think we can get to right there for right now. And then we're going to start fine-tuning some things. Yeah, so I explored all of this. I think, yep, we can do that. Tighten that one in. All right, now we're going to zoom in and start looking at some things specifically. So this is our little area right here. Yeah, remember the map from earlier? What do you think? I actually like this detail better. I wish our maps could look this detailed. So none of that we are deleting at all. So that's going to stay there. The other things that we're going to keep is some areas around us. For example, here's the portal that we use to go to the nether. So this is staying. Like I'm not going to loot that again. And right here in this little area here, that is our entrance to our skelly farm. The other things that we are going to keep, there's a shipwreck here that I've explored. I don't want to grab treasure out of that again. There is some ruins here. I don't want to grab that again. And I'm just going to scale some of this back because there's another shipwreck. Right there it is. And I think it's a little cheaty if I just keep resetting stuff like that that we've already gotten. So most of all of this can get reset. Yeah, all of this, because I haven't explored any of this really. And the reason that we are even resetting these to begin with is so we can get the new stuff, like as close to possible, as close to our base as possible. The new, like the deep dark and such, like we want to make that as close to our base as possible. So we're going to reset all of this. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. There was a buried treasure here, so I don't want to reset that again. Again, I got the maps from these two guys. Actually, both the maps from those two shipwrecks led to the same spot here. So yes, we're going to keep that. We're going to go ahead and reset all this. we are going to keep this portal. I know I've looted that. We're going to keep this village. I've already been in there. I know there's some other villages that we've reset. And I'm okay with resetting them because at this point, there's really not a whole lot of loot in the in those villages that I desperately need. So like a lot of this can get reset. That village there just got reset. We've grabbed villagers out of here, and I haven't explored any of the caves here. So yeah, so all of this stuff. Actually, we're gonna keep that back because I think I've been in some caves here that may have gotten into here a little bit. Right. So this is what we're going to. This is what we're going to keep. And everything else is going to get deleted. Now, I know I've been kind of fast about this. I'm going to link in the description to Pixel Riff's video about the MCA Selector. He's got a much detailed video about other ways to use this, ways to select things specifically, but I'm just going to do a broad stroke here because we didn't explore a lot, so I don't need to dive into how much he does because he's explored quite a bit more than I have, and some of the tools that are actually built into this are amazing. So again, check out Pixel Riff's video. I'll put a link in the description below, and plus I'm going to put a link at the end of the video to his. It's very, very well done. So check that one out. So we're going to delete all these chunks here. Done. And that is how big our world is now. Pretty nice, huh? That's it. All right, so the last thing we need to do before we go to 118, one last time we're visiting the Boneyard in 118.2, just to make sure that everything else is just A-okay. All right, so there's our maps. Everything in here is looking good. Everything out here is looking good. Farms are still doing well. Our buildings are still standing back over here. Boat is still here. If you reset that area, that boat would have been gone. And so is that chest that I apparently have some things in that I must have forgotten about because, you know, that's kind of what happens. Let's see. Up there. And let's check on our Skelly farm. I really need to make a drop here and do a water elevator back up. Oh, so terrible. All right, our skeleton farm is looking good and still operating. All our loot is still here. Wonderful. And as you can see, it was the spot that we broke through and the chest is gone. Oh, getting around through here with respiration is way easier than it used to be. Yep, everything's gone. So, our chunk resetting seems to have worked. So there was an area over here where I came and did a lot of dirt digging. I just wanted to come and just get piles and piles of dirt. So I'm coming to check if all the dirt has returned. Wow, yes. It's all back. A lot of this dirt here where the cows are and where I'm standing, I dug a lot of this out just to get some dirt for the previous project. So yeah, so that has reset all of it. I probably should have shown you guys earlier this little area, just so you could see that it had gotten reset and what MCA Selector does exactly. But in Pixel Rift's video, as I mentioned before, and I will put a link to it again, He actually destroys a section of his village and then shows you guys how it gets reset when you load back in those chunks. So why it's important to back up your worlds and to save them just in case things go a little awry. Okay, now that's all been checked, let's get ready for 119. All right, just like before with the MCA selector, go ahead and select your Boneyard, edit, make a backup. Look how much smaller it is, 37 megabytes. Good grief. Here we are, 119. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Say it loud, folks. Say it loud. As you can see, we're at Minecraft 119 Fabric. I know it says 67 mods, but that is not 67. These are all the mods I use. The camera utilities is actually kind of new. I'm going to toy around with that. Lamb dynamic lights, logical geek zoom, my mini HUD, which you guys see quite often in the top left corner of everything. I'm using phosphor and lithium, sodium, and of course iris for all that help, and Lightmatica. And of course, what we've been waiting for a long time was the replay mod. Where is that? There it is. And the mod menu actually allows me to bring up this menu here. It's pretty nice. So, single player, Boneyard. Here we are, 1.19, and walking right into a square sunset. And you guys know how much I enjoy my square sunsets. Just the peace, the tranquility, the stars, the hues. Yeah, I'm gonna need some sort of like pack that puts that whole like Aurora Borealis up there in the sky, because I think that looks pretty cool. All right. Wow, let's go see what our next day starts, because you know, 119, I'm ready to build something. I've been doing some resource gathering, some packed mud for my walkways, and I have some mud brick walls for our iron farm that we'll be building. I also need some more polished basalt, which I can find in the nether. I just haven't made the permanent nether entrance yet. So I think we're going to have to go through the old nether entrance. And the other thing I need is red sandstone, which I have no idea where there's any of that at right now. South of here is where I got the cactus, quite a ways, about 2,000 blocks south. So I think we're going to head back there with some hopes of finding some red sandstone. All right, let's go find out some materials. Well, there's a desert where I got the cactus, and luckily there was some red sand here that we need to collect to make our red sandstone. And even further south is a mesa biome, which is really, really cool. I didn't know that was there. When I came and got the cactus, I literally just grabbed the cactus as soon as I saw it and turned around and headed home. So this is awesome. Got my shovel out. Time to dig. We are done collecting the red sand for the red sandstone walls. I've grabbed some terracotta while I was here too, but let's head back into our old nether portal and get the basalt we need. Okay, so I still have notes from before the reset, from where my roundabout way of finding the basalt delta. I decided to dig a tunnel straight through instead this time, and look what I found. That's right, some ancient debris. I guess I'm on a chunk border. Yep, there's the border. There we go. All right. So yeah, ancient debris. Look at us. Look at us. Ballin'. All right, let's collect this and get our achievement. Oh, this is a second one. Yeah. Hidden in the depths. Let's get this guy. Got our ancient debris. Let's go and head on and get to the basalt delta. Okay, as usual, I've spared you guys the expense of watching me collect basalt and grind away. But I've cleared away this chamber here, and down below I've cleared this chamber here. Now let's get back and figure out placement for the iron farm and build it. Well, I have placed the schematic 3 times, and I've decided on this location here in the garden, which means we need to clear out the garden and replant it someplace else. Now, this was always supposed to be a temporary garden anyways. I just wasn't ready to move it right away. But for now, let's go ahead and clear it out and get our iron farm built. All right, there it is, our iron farm. I think I'm going to dub it the Iron Tower. It's pretty tall, right? Let's go take a closer look at what I got going on. It's pretty simple. It's just everything comes down to here. See, it's been going for a while. And I really love this honey block with the shroom light just above it. I think it looks great, and I actually need to go finish it over in the library still. But yeah, it's all right here. The basics of this iron farm comes from Avamance, and I will put a link down below to one of his iron farm videos. He basically uses the same concept in all of his, and I've tweaked it a little bit, and I want to share what I've done differently. This was a late addition when I designed this, after watching one of his videos again to confirm what I was doing, and he says that if the villagers don't lose line of sight, they will eventually stop spawning golems because they're just exhausted from being panicked all the time. So I put in this here light sensor. So at night, a signal is sent, and that fence there is raised by a sticky piston to block the line of sight from the villagers and the zombie. But then their job tomorrow is to be terrified all over again. Enjoy, guys. Hey, thank you for coming and joining me for another episode here in the Boneyard. Using the MCA Selector was a lot of fun, resetting my chunks, and that brings me to another point. We all use some mods, and if you could, throw a little something your mods way. You know, who are the guys who created your mods, you know, the guys who are programming your mods for you. They spend a lot of their own spare time making these mods, so why not throw a little something their way? It doesn't have to be a lot. $1, $2, $5, whatever you feel comfortable with, you know, giving them a little tip. You know, it's all they ask. They work hard, believe it or not, in their spare time for this stuff. You guys know I use the MCA Selector. I've used Litematica, Mini HUD. You know, you see it up in the corner there. And yeah. So again, if you've made it this far, please hit that like button. We're at the end of the video here. And if you're not subscribed, if you made it to the end of the video with me, hey, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. So, I got more things planned for our next episode, and I gotta get started on those. So, I will see you guys again in a couple weeks. Cheers.